Namaste everybody, I'm David Breen from sharingyogaandreallifeyoga.com. Welcome another beautiful, sunny, breezy morning in Galle Fort in Sri Lanka. So I thought we'd do some standing warm-ups today and maybe try a few balance postures. So with the feet about hip width apart, maybe a little wider, bend the knees, and then you begin to bring the arms back and forth like this. Good. Now we'll mix up, knees stay bent. We'll mix it up a little bit. Straight, bend, straight, 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 bend, straight, straight. Nice and easy, you're not forcing anything, but we're beginning to get the arms and shoulders and upper back muscles warmed up a little bit and get the blood flowing to that area of the body. And then back to just straight arms, and you can begin to straighten the legs now, and then we'll cross the arms out in front like this. Again, nice and easy. Begin to stretch some of the chest muscles and the upper back muscles a little bit more. You know, the best thing about these live stream yoga classes is I do the yoga with you. I'm not like sitting on the couch just ordering you around, having you do the different poses and things like that. That would be kind of a boring show. And then back to straight arms out in front here. But that I'm actually doing the poses. You could pause if you don't understand something, take a better look at it. And then you're going to bend the knees quite a bit, bring the arms up overhead and pause right here. So the knees are bent considerably here in chair pose. Arms are up overhead, breathing deep. Now look up toward the hands, especially the space in between the hands. And without moving really anything, try to press the top part of your chest up into that space between your hands. Just a little micro adjustment for the upper back and chest. And inhale, straighten the legs. Exhale, arms come down alongside the body. Now go ahead and close your eyes for a moment. Allow your body to relax. Feel what's happening in your body and feel the change happening in your body as we wake the body up this morning. And then open up the eyes. And now we're going to swing left to right and right to left. And as you do that, as you swing toward the left-hand side, you're going to lift the right heel. And as you swing toward the right-hand side, you're going to lift the left heel. And then we'll slow that down. Relax the arms, take a deep inhale, deep exhale. Next, hands are going to come to the hips. Feet can be hip width apart or a little bit closer. And then you're going to do some heel raises. So as you inhale, lift your heels up off the ground. As you exhale, come back down. And release. And then bend your knees a couple of times. Now set the feet about hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider apart. You can point the toes out a little bit. Arms come up. Inhale. And as you exhale, bend into the knees and point the fingers straight ahead. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend. And then you continue on at your own pace here. Listening to your body and how it feels. Now if your back feels okay, as you come up on the inhale, you can arch back a little bit. If the knees feel okay, feel free to press your seat back and squat down just a little bit more. If these are really tiring for you, then this is probably one of the ones that you're going to want to work with on a regular basis. Right? And then release. And this morning warm-up routine, It's short, it's brief, but you could do it every day. And little by little, you'll build up a little bit more stamina so that those squats become a little bit easier. Arms alongside the body, close the eyes, find your breath. Take a long, slow, deep breath in. And a long, slow, deep breath out. And again, long, slow inhale. Long, slow exhale. Good. Open the eyes, hands come to the hips. Some hip circles now. This is a great practice for beginners and people who are deconditioned. So I'm going to make a reminder to myself to put it into that first list on the website. There's a whole list of classes there that if you're a beginner, you can go and check out those. And then reverse direction. And then release. Good. Now, you're going to take your hands and try to connect the tip of your thumbs to the base knuckle of your pinky finger so your hands are like this. See that? Just like that. Good. And then, arms come out to the side. Right? So here's what I see a lot here. We're not looking for that. I want to keep the head locked straight, and the movement comes from the shoulders down to the tips of the fingers. Like this. Good. So notice if you're going like this, that's something different. That's some sort of a cricket warm-up or something. I don't know. And release. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more time. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Fingertips come back to the shoulders, chin up, elbows out, and then round and around and around here. Opposite direction. And release. Good. Now we're going to come into a forward bend. So feet are hip width apart. Knees are bent a little bit, and you'll ease yourself down into a forward bend. Relax the head, and relax the arms. Inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale the palms right down through heart center. Now it's time for some balance poses. So I'm going to change my angle a little bit here. You're going to begin with just some simple balancing poses. Hands on the hips. Shift the weight onto the left leg and bring the right leg up out in front. Right? So for some of us, that right foot's just going to come up off the ground a little bit like this. That's fine. You're still balancing or trying to balance all the weight on your left leg, which is fine. If you want to take it further over time, then this right leg comes up and up and up. And then there's always a question. People get bored and it's like, okay, well, which way should my toes be pointed? Well, you could point them down or you could point them up, and you can alternate, right? You could maybe do a set of balance on this side with pressing out through the heel, and then you would switch. We'll go to the opposite side now. Left leg comes up. Again, a little bit or a lot, you decide. And you can press out through the heel there. And then go ahead and release. Now, we'll try to take it a little bit further. You can do that first one again, or you want to take it a little bit further. Shift the weight onto the left leg, bring the right leg up, and then you'll try to grab a hold of the right knee with the right hand and draw that right knee and thigh up a little bit more. Same thing here. You can point the toes, or you can press out through the heel. Left hand stays on the left hip, and you begin to draw the left shoulder back a little bit more. And then you're going to release and then switch sides. Shift the weight onto the right leg. Left leg comes up. You grab a hold of it. Draw it up, 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 up. Draw the right shoulder back. And concentrate. Concentrate on what? Well, sometimes if you fix your eyes, fix your gaze on a spot on the floor out in front of you, that may help to stabilize the balance pose. One of the tenets of yoga is focus and concentration. And we begin to learn it right here in the balance poses. And then you're going to release. We're going to switch sides again. This time, both hands to the hips. Keep both hands on the hips. Shift the weight onto the left leg. Bring the right knee up out in front. And then we're going to straighten the leg. So both legs are straight here. And I'm just trying to draw this right leg with the toes pointed. I'm trying to draw it up just a little bit. And then we'll release. Try the other side, shifting the weight onto the right leg. The left knee comes up. And then we'll straighten the left leg and try to bring it a little bit higher. So notice both legs are straight. Eyes are focused on that magic spot out in front of you. And then you're breathing and paying more attention to the breath. And then we're going to release. So let's bend the knees a couple of times. And next we'll work with eagle pose. So for eagle pose, bend both knees and bring the arms up overhead. So we begin in chair, and then the right arm comes down in front, left arm crosses over. And you can have the hands toward the shoulders like this, or the hands could come toward each other like this. And then the knees stay bent. And then you're going to bring your right leg up over your left leg, or your right knee up over your left knee. So there's always questions about which knee goes on top and which arm goes underneath and all that stuff. And that's just, as long as you're consistent about what you practice, I don't think there's going to be a big issue, right? So right now my right arm is on the bottom and my right leg is on the top. I'm gently squeezing the legs together. And then we're going to release. Bring the arms up overhead. Take an inhale. Not too big of an inhale, just a regular inhale. Exhale the palms down to heart center. Release the arms. Close the eyes. Focus on your breath. And then eyes open up. Let's try it on the other side. So on the other side, my right arm was underneath and my right leg was on top. So you're going to bend the knees and bring the arms up overhead. The left arm comes down first with the right arm on top. Good, so we're doing the other side with the arms. And then the left leg's going to go on top, so we're doing the other side with the legs. So we stay consistent here. Breathing, squeezing the legs gently, and smiling. And then we're going to release. Good. Close the eyes. Concentrate on the breath. And then we'll open the eyes up. So let's take tree pose next, another balance pose. I'm going to shift the weight onto the left leg and bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg like this. So you can start here, or bring that ankle behind the knee, or you could bring it all the way up to the inside of the thigh. What you don't want is you don't want the foot, in this case you don't want the right foot on the knee, on the left knee like this. I know that it feels okay there because maybe your knee provides a little bit of shelf for it, but not recommended at all. Hands come to heart center perhaps. Maybe the arms come up overhead. and release. And then we'll switch sides. Shift the weight onto the right leg. Left foot comes up. I'll cut that part out of the video. And release. Bend your knees a couple of times. Shake out the arms. How about dancer pose? So, I'm going to turn to the side for this. The natural way that your arm hangs alongside the body is like this with the palm facing in. So the first version of dancer, you're going to leave the arm like that and try to grab the right foot. Right. The left arm can be out in front or up overhead. Again, you pick a spot for the gaze. And then what do you do with this leg or this foot that you're holding onto? Well, the first thing that you want to work on is just the balance part of it. So just try to stay balanced here before you go anywhere else. Maybe arch the back a little bit, squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other. And then release, and then we'll switch sides. I'm going to try to grab the left foot with the left arm, left hand. Right arm comes up. Focus and squeeze the shoulder blades toward each other. And then we'll release. Good. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. We'll try one more balance pose. We're going to try Warrior 3. So for Warrior 3, you're going to step your left foot back, bend your right knee, interlace the fingers here out in front. Lean the weight forward into the right foot, into the right leg, and then come up on the left toes, and then float the left leg up. Hips square toward the floor. Reach out through the left toes and then stretch the index fingers in the opposite direction. And release. And then we'll switch sides. Right foot steps back. Interlace the fingers. Lean forward. Come up on the right toes and then float the right leg up. And then release. Take a deep inhale and a deep exhale. We're going to separate the feet pretty wide apart here, maybe shoulder width apart, and begin to come down into a squat. So we'll have an introduction to squatting here and then an introduction to crow pose. So for squatting, if you notice, my heels are up off the ground, which is fine. It all depends on how your bones are made. If you insist that your heels have to reach the floor at some point in your life, then you need to get a new yoga teacher, right? Fire your yoga teacher. The further apart the feet are, the easier it's going to be. The closer the feet are together, right, the more challenging any of the poses in this position become. So you can stay here and then actually come out of it and take a little bit of a break and then try it again. If you want to work toward crow's pose, then here's how to do it. You want to have your hands gripping into the floor, whether that's the mat or the rug that you're on, something like that, and the hands are approximately shoulder width apart. And then the inside of the knee comes somewhere in between your elbow and shoulder. The closer it is to your shoulder, the more challenging it's going to be. And then you bring the heels way up off the ground and you lean the weight forward. Now, one of the secrets to crow is to look forward. So you draw your chin away from your chest as much as you can, and then you begin to lean the weight forward. After a while of practicing this, you might bring one foot up off the ground and then come back down, and then you might bring the other foot back up off the ground. And eventually it becomes a balance pose. So if you do get up for the balance, here's a couple things that are going to happen. You're going to be apt to hold your breath. You won't notice it at first. It'll just seem like the pose is easy because you're holding your breath. Once you realize that you're holding your breath, then you want to make a note of that and begin to breathe in the posture into crow. Second thing you want to do is, once you get up, is think about squeezing those knees toward each other a little bit. That'll bring a little bit more tension into the pose, but also you bring a little bit more tension into the core area. So we'll try it one more time here, I think. Not this morning. So that's it for our morning practice today, live from Galle Fort in Sri Lanka. I'm David Breen from Sharing Yoga and RealLiveYoga.com. See you next time.